The final thing that we want to talk about is Capcom Cup 2016 ended, and it was pretty surprising and exciting. Let's get into it.
The Street Fighter Super Bowl went down, and it was a bracket of upsets. Right? Pull that baby up there.
Go back.
That, just so we can make sure we don't miss anything.
Yeah.
So, Infiltration, number 1 seed, right, comes in. He went on a tear to start everything. Just won everything that he showed up to, like it was nothing. And then we see him playing some different characters throughout some of the other tournaments, and he's not placing super great, but he's still Infiltration, so he's pretty high. And we're expecting he's got like a secret pocket character. Everybody's whispering. Instead, he shows up with Nash, gets knocked out, very first match of the day. And I was like, oh, wow.
Like, this isn't going to immediately, it's not going to go how you expect it.
I was like, so there was no secret tech. Okay, that's confusing. The Beast, Daigo Umehara. Everybody was waiting to see what that guy was going to unload. Goes 0-1. Sent straight to losers.
And, as far as I know, Daigo hasn't really had a super incredible showing in Street Fighter V in terms of tournaments. Like, he's done well, but he hasn't, made it to, the, top 4, top 8, as far as I know.
He does have a top, he's got a win.
I mean, he lost to Lupe Fiasco.
That's true,
Yeah.
So after Lupe beat him, he had to regain some confidence. And he's played well. I mean, obviously, this is the top 32 players in the world on a point system. So clearly, he is still the beast. And nobody's going to get through him. He was number 1 ranked online for a while. And I know he still holds at least one major win, and that got him in. But we haven't seen a dominant Daigo like we've seen way back in the past, right? This has been kind of all over for Street Fighter. There's been a lot of people who have been looked at as the most dominant player, but it's really only been for about a month at a time, leading into our next one, Takedo, who is my favorite Ryu player in the world. I wish I could emulate anything he does, but I can't. He's on a whole other level. He went 0-1, and it was like, okay, so now 1, number 2, both knocked down. I'm a little shocked at that. You look down the list of all these guys, and the next one in is Justin Wong.
Yeah.
Justin Wong went through his dominant streak. I remember, shout out to Combo Breaker. I saw him at Combo Breaker, and that dude couldn't have been more casual and relaxed. And I showed up, and I was like, he's going to win this.
Yeah, well, when we saw him at Evo, he was just chilling, listening to his earbuds, no stress.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. And we even watched him beat the snot out of one of our friends. So
yeah, and I remember I talked to him just briefly at Combo Breaker, and I was like, "How you feeling, man?" He's like, "No, I feel good."
Street Fighter.
What are you talking about? Is there a tournament today or something? And it's just he went through that just crazy dominant streak. Has an amazing Karen. I watched his stream the other night. He's amazing with everybody. It looks like, but he he goes 0-1, and it's just the world is upside down. I don't know what to think, but because of that, I watched every second of the tournament. So
I didn't tune in until the top 8. I just kind of got my feeds from Twitter on what was happening from you were telling me. So and then Fudo kind of moved on. He got a win. What else happened that was really exciting in these? We could talk about when we got to the final, and it was the winners in the final were all American, which was.
So it seemed like just being hot was the thing to do. As long as you were on a tear right now, you were going to carry your momentum. And Liquid's Knuckle Dew did that and proved it because he's been just unstoppable lately, both with Guile and with Mika.
And on melatonin.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, which, caution, kids, causes drowsiness. Yeah. So he goes in, and I don't know, maybe it was the melatonin, but he just looked just so relaxed. Watch his first match, and he was just like, you're dead.
Yep.
And I was like, man, he looks strong. So I think a lot of people picked him to win, or at least get down into the very, finals of the bracket, top 4 at least.
Yep.
And he proved that no problem. He went in there just looking cool as a cucumber and just dominated. So really no surprise there. What was a huge surprise was seeing an all USA winners finals,
which is a far cry from what it was at Evo 2015
and
16
14 13 12 11 10 9 8 7 it's just been so dominated by the Asians that USA has just been known as USA's free, and they put an end to it because Ricky Ortiz shows up and is battling in there with Dew.
And now I feel, at least for me, Ricky Ortiz was the L.I. Joe of the Capcom Cup.
Good comparison.
Didn't take the gold, but she was MVP of the whole thing.
Exactly,
It was super cool.
And
so much class.
Yeah, and I mean, like every time I've seen her in other tournaments and stuff. Like she's focused. Like everybody on Team EG is like a very focused individual when they're playing. And she's like, like kind of into it. This, like, she was like, she had her war face on. That girl was ready to go to town. Like I watched that first match and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, she means business. And she was just playing out of her mind. So she got sent down to losers in the winners finals. Drops down, and believe it or not, was able to still make it back into grand finals.
Oh yeah, and this match here against Udil, I think it was.
Oh, hi Tawny. Yeah.
Yeah. Just slaughtered. She was just like rushed down, just had him in the corner.
Yeah.
I was just so impressed with her Chun-Li because I was like, man, I wish I could play Chun-Li like that. Holy shit.
So during the finals, I was playing Marvel at the same time. Like we had the side-by-side thing going on. And the match started. I looked over and it was like 1-0. And I was like, what was that? And you were like, Tim, look. And it was 2-0. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, hang on, pause. And then Haitani started to run it back. And I was like, okay, now it's getting intense. And then she's game-faced and just clutched it out again. And
just took it. And that was when I became like a big fan there. I was like, oh my God, that chick's awesome.
So she was a monster. And then they get in there and, it
was close too.
Dude did what dude does, though.
Yeah.
The guy's just he's playing great. And, he's playing a character a lot of people would argue is semi-broken. And in my opinion, not completely broken, but Mika's got some tools to help her win. Mm-hmm. So...
You talking about her breasts? You talking about them boobies?
Yeah, I just get lost staring at them. But it looks like in the upcoming changes, a lot of her tools and her tricks are already being eliminated. So like right now she does the little Irish whip thing and you hit like an invisible wall and then you come back. It looks like they're removing that wall completely. So now you only get the bounce off of the actual wall stage. Or I would imagine you could still use
so
Nishiko.
More beneficial if you're towards the corner because then they'll bounce off. Yeah,
because she's always been, if she puts you in the corner, I mean, it's over. She's just such a tough character. She gets you in the corner, gets the set play going, she mixes you up, 50-50s for days, or she just command grabs you and it's like, okay, and we're done. And huge damage output. But it's really easy for her to get you to the corner. Now, if she doesn't have that advantage mid-screen, it's like if you stay in the mid-screen, you're going to be able to actually effectively play against her. Mm-hmm. So some people would argue it's a balance. I play Mika. I don't play a great Mika. But there's times...
I don't either.
Yeah. But there's times I play online with her, and I'm like, yeah, that was cheap. hold that. Like, I remember the first time I used her online, I won like 8 matches in a row. And I was like, might be something to this girl. She's not bad. So, obviously... It was incredibly exciting. The day one was held at Esports Arena in Santa Ana, which where they hold Wednesday night fights. You guys already know that. And then day 2 was in Anaheim, and it was like this weird beanbag casual seating thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, beanbags are better than concrete floors.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah.
And, the thing about Knuckle Dude is I was like kind of looking at him last night after the thing, and, he's been just slaying, Canada Cup, and he's like... Right now, he's like the guy. He's just taking all the wins.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing at the end of this right now. Yeah. So it's like, season 2 will start to roll out, and we'll have to see how it takes shape. He's also a phenomenal Guile player. So I don't think, it's not one of those guys where it's like, yeah, I take away his Mika and see what he's got.
Yeah.
Du has always been a phenomenal player. So now you're going to have Du just using Guile, and he's going to be just as strong.
It's true.
So good players, guys. Remember that. That's like the most important note.
And if we can get a little deeper with things, something I think is super cool is Ricky Ortiz is really kind of opening doors for like trans players and people that haven't wanted to step out because for various reasons, and people are starting to feel more comfortable getting out and playing in tournaments, and I think it's like super cool.
That's something about the FGC that I've thought is always really awesome, is that it feels like a really open, accepting group of individuals, to where it's like everybody just sits down as just everyone's like an equal opponent no matter what.
Yeah, you're judged on how you play and your skill in the game. No one gives a shit about what you look like, which is super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the FGC can be a very volatile group of people with opinions, but not when it comes to you as a person. It's all very encompassing, and it's like welcoming, and it's super cool.
There's always gonna be like a dude with some stupid troll comment, especially like when you watch like the big streams, because they know it's just gonna fly through the Twitch comments.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're beyond the minority. They're just the smallest little percentage. They don't have any voice. They don't have probably a friend to go with that opinion. You can show up just about anywhere and just start talking to anybody at any major, and everybody's just like, oh, cool, who do you play? You know, it's like, I play this. And it's like, let's go, let's plug in. Like, oh, or I need that experience. Let's, show me some
Totally.
stuff.
And, she was trending on Twitter last night, so she was like...
That was so cool.
Yeah, super cool. And I think it's super cool. I think that video games should always be about setting aside any kind of judgments for people and just having fun with each other and just playing games. And that's really what it's all about. And I think it's super
and
cool.
humans and everything that you want the world to be, right?
Like, exactly. And so I support her going further because it just opens more doors for people that might not have social opportunities. It's super cool.
Absolutely. 100%. So it was exciting to watch. I know the broadcast again will be tonight. Today's Sunday, which will be on ESPN too, which is awesome. I think because of that, I want to say, my guess is that like James Chen and Sajam and stuff, they were probably doing the commentating for the broadcast, which is why they didn't do the main Capcom one. So we got the team
sense.
from the UK, which is, I think it's
Cheerio.
cool. Yeah.
Crumpets.
Yeah. I-O, pop it. I don't know anything.
Yeah. We're not British.
Yeah, definitely not. I've never even been there. But yeah, it was super cool. It was a great experience, and I hope to be able to participate more going into season 2.
We'll see where season 2 takes us. But that kind of wraps up our show, or whatever video you're watching. What do you guys think? Hit us up on the twits.
We're always open to comments and discussions and stuff. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you want to talk about next time. Hit us up on the Twitters. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy the matches? Are you excited about Marvel vs. Capcom? Let's discuss further.
And for those of you on the Twitter, I'm at BossBattleTim.
Yes, if you're not watching, I am at AdamRonin_XXIV. Very complicated Twitter. It's really just obnoxious, but it's too far gone. I can't change it now.
No going back.
Yeah, too many videos with it in there. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening/watching.
Goodbye.